Come on. Do the thing where you land. Do the thing where you land. No, didn't turn enough. Was trying to turn and then I touched the pillar. It sometimes messes with your movement. 5 shots left. And I wish my friggin' ear would stop being itchy. Rude. Alright. Come on, Chuckle Bucket. What? I mean, not complaining, but okay. That happened. Goodbye, Mr. Surfire. Surefire, etc. Alright, there we go. We got next, Mr. Kresna. Broken Stone, he's a tank, so this shouldn't matter. Fire one hand out there. Yeah, I wouldn't expect this guy to put up too much of a fight. Oh, his Selena might be an issue, though. So, funny thing about tanks, sometimes their profile's kind of weird. Like you might be seeing right here. But yeah, it's a little bit odd to target their profile there. You gotta aim a little bit lower than you'd think you would be able to. Because it will just fly straight through their shoulders. Another funny thing to note here, in terms of pressure weapons and all that sort of thing, it occurred to me earlier today that actually early 3rd gen and... I mean, I guess 2nd gen to some degree, and then 4th gen were about the only times that rockets actually managed to have some sort of pressure weapon role. By which I mean, like, for example, in early 3rd gen, you had a much easier time actually overheating with these things. You have to pretty much consistently nail really strong shots on somebody with sucky cooling in Nexus and LR to be able to actually pull that off. And how on earth this guy got this far is anyone's guess, but then again that happens a lot in the arena. This friend doesn't understand how competitions work. Like, what do you mean? They have to fight each other? I thought we were ranking them by what we thought was coolest. You know, like the fact that in AC2, 8-Ball ever beat anyone is kind of comical. I'm pretty sure the guy couldn't friggin' beat a cactus. Alright, come on. Slow as crap fire rate on this thing. There we go. And done deal. Alright, we're gonna caricature next. I'm not actually sure who caricature is supposed to be from. I've been told that there's somebody from Project Phantasma, but honestly, I don't know. Not to mention they'd be really out of place there. But it's another friggin' Blade AC, just like that other guy. One downside is he's got a linear gun, and that thing absolutely breaks this build. So that's a bit of a bummer, but thankfully he's going to use that piece of crap Silky most of the time. Come on, go for your Blade AI, you know you want to. And then once his legs are busted, it should be a little bit easier. But yeah, this is what I mean by this thing screws up this AC. Like, it completely messes up my movement, and therefore messes up my aim. And why am I switching weapons again? Makes no sense. This is the non-broken controller. Please don't proceed to be broken. I already had to go and opt out of one of these once already because of the broken controller thing. I still have no idea who the hell possibly thought that that thing needed 80 rounds in it. Just because it's so oppressive, you know? There's absolutely no reason to have 80 shots in that stupid thing. So if you don't know what I mean by the thing's oppressive, generally it's just a term that gets thrown around for strategy RPGs a fair bit. But it's just when something is so like clearly able to overpower and or control a fight. Like in this case, due to its velocity, due to its everything, I can't get close. Not that I necessarily want to, but I'm just saying, it completely dictates what I'm doing here. Doesn't matter, because he's dead anyway. I would have been pretty pissed if I fell out of bounds there. That would have been a bit of an unfortunate time. So stepping away for just one moment here. Alrighty, and I'm back. Let's do this thing. So, Manx, like it says, lacks in mobility, lacks in defense. Is, again, one of those weirdos that doesn't really make sense. Like, how on earth did he get this far kind of a situation? Because honestly, all these Chuckle Buckets should have lost to 2448. It's not even slightly a comparison. He'll do the same hover crap as everybody else. Unlike a lot of the others, though, he has a little bit of delay. So, you can't actually target him midair, but still. And he'll throw out a lot of his heavier ordnance, just kind of like this. He's not too bright. But he is annoying. Generally one of those ones that a lot of people probably used for target practice before. Yeah, he's just got the bazooka arms and large missiles, and that's about it. And, you know, kind of gotta help you if you manage to actually get hit by one of these things, because how on earth did you get this far? Kind of situation. Not bazooka arms, grenade arms. You know, I always end up thinking that those are bazooka arms. Alright, this guy is being a real pain to hit. Okay, so he threw away his larges, fair enough. Go ahead and burn through your other stuff, and we'll just go ahead and do this close range as soon as you feel like landing. Problem with this arena, as you've probably seen, he will still, like, even though there's a little bit of delay on him, he'll still end up adjusting his height, so you can't really reliably aim up to hit him. And on top of that, well, he does that same hover trick because look, it's such a good design, you guys. It's so good. Look, it's great. This is what good design looks like. He does things that no person can. Man, so impressive. This little stupid hover crap. Jeez, feel so outplayed right now. Such good stuff. Hello there, Megalith. How are things? But yeah, so this guy, he thinks he's threatening. He's mostly just hovering forever. I believe he is possible to get trapped in the corners though, so that's basically what we're gonna do here. Just get him over here. Just kind of was waiting for him to burn through a few more of his grenade rounds, but yeah, he has such a small lockbox that it doesn't even matter. Yeah, there we go. Ah, didn't quite land it. If you can get right in the middle when he's doing that, you can actually trap him inside. But if you want to know where that one is, that is pretty much exactly northeast. Just do a little trap trick right there. For some reason, the northeast one seems a little bit more reliable than the others, but, you know, there's that. Other than that, though, yeah, this guy's just hopping around. How did he ever get this far? And in case you're wondering, yeah, no, breaking his legs does not make him fly any less. Pretty sure anybody who would have seen the rocket run up to this point would already know that, but still. And as you can see, he's hovering just slightly out of my lock range again. And if I move it up, he'll move even higher. Oh man, so tricky. Alright. Weird part is, they will usually immediately land. In theory, due to his whole hopping up and down thing, I might be able to use that. But still, usually they'll just adjust speed and that's it. Well, I mean, been doing the whole rocket thing for a little while now. It's just, honestly, LR is definitely one of the more annoying ones. Actually, it is the most annoying one in the series as far as I'm concerned, but yeah, so already did Ultimate Tonight, already did 2448, who's a Nexus Evangel. Basically, the last thing that people wanted to see was Damon, so we're just slowly working our way through the arena here. As soon as this guy actually... yeah. As you can see, we've had a lot of this. Like, where they're basically not actually a threat on their own, but they're just like, check it out, I can fly forever, this is fair, this is good. It's like, if he was actually fighting back or something, you know, that'd be nice, but it's not really providing any challenge, he's just being a douchebag. So there's that. Alright. What do I want to do here? Maybe we'll see about hitting him on the hover pattern. He goes up, he goes down. And yeah, he takes a little bit of a sharper turn. As far as I can tell, when they're in the air, they do seem to have some degree of reaction when I fire. Like, look. Like, he does seem to have a slightly sharper drop. So, I don't know, maybe I'm just seeing things, maybe it's a matter of perspective, but like the moment you let go of it a little bit to adjust, that's when problems happen. Alright, bud, come on. Just, can you land somewhere? You're not winning this, you don't have enough shots to actually win anything, you can't even hit me when I'm friggin' standing still. You know what? Tell you what, fast forward, I'm just gonna stand here, and you're gonna try. You're gonna try very hard. Because you don't have enough shots to pull this off. In fact, I'm going to go over here. We're just going to go over this way. And since you're being a bit of a dick, then we'll just wait till you, wait, are we in the northeast? Yeah, let's go for that door. We're going to go over here. And you're going to try to be tricky and net yourself into that wall again. And then that's how we're going to do this. Real tired of your shenanigans, bud. Go figure, you might actually have enough ammo to pull this off. I thought he was already down. Like, aren't there only 32 rounds in that one, or is that only Formula 5? He might be out. No, there we go. Seems like he's got more. Maybe he's got a back launcher I'm not aware of. Could be that too. Or is he out now? Who knows? I will say, for the record, though, like, the rest of them have been actual fights. This exact waiting for him to run out of shots thing, that has not necessarily been the norm. Most of them have pretty much run out of shots just while I was waiting to line up shots on them, but that wasn't the actual intention. Because most of them are actually easier to hit when they do have ammo. Okay. Aim slightly right, I'm gonna see if he's still gonna stay out of it. Nope. A little bit too slow on that one. Oh, he's just avoiding that spot. Okay. Oh, this one's gonna be annoying. My dude. Why? Why are you like this? Who made you like this? Alright, I think I know what we need to do. Let's just do backpedal strategies, find a height for him, and see about sniping him out of it. Yeah. People ask, what's wrong with Last Raven? It's so balanced! Yeah, not the AI. This is retarded. Like, I have to wait for all my energy to get back. This is a pretty reasonably fast setup. Go over here, I can fly for a little bit, like if we... Ah, we might be able to do ceiling strategy on this AO. That might be an idea. So if you're unaware, with a lot of the AIs, you can actually fly them up to the ceiling, and can bust them up that way. I really, really, really prefer the other ones where you didn't have to do this kind of crap. Yeah, we're actually going to go ahead and restart this. What does he have? Yeah, he... Oh, that's right. He's got the arms, he doesn't have the, grenade cannon arms. I'm thinking of a different guy. Now that will explode before it reaches him. I'm pretty sure they specifically designed it that way. Okay. So now, while he's still got his heavy crap on him, we're gonna go ahead and try to break his legs. Okay, there's one. Am I firing left? Yes, I am. That's gonna pop on the left before it hits. That one should be about to pop. Yep, there we go. There it pops. The right one popped, that one popped. This is kind of my window for getting a couple of them onto his legs. And then a third one should do the trick pretty nicely, I would hope. And he dropped one of them. A little bit... didn't quite work out there. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Still doable, and crap, hang on, I gotta go check on my little guy. Alright, and I'm back. Sorry about that. The little guy kind of has a tendency to roll over at random in his sleep today. For whatever reason. Here we are, almost. Yeah, he's doing a little bit of an awkward turn there. So yeah, all the AIs have these like little tiny awkward quirks you gotta get used to before they finally can be mostly hittable. And I apparently ran into one of them. As you can see, larges are a little bit nerfed into the ground in this one. At least unless you're using quad nukes. So quad nukes are pretty alright, you can two-shot almost anything with them, if not one-shot. I've seen them one-shot before, which I believe is just because of the core being instantly destroyed. Oh man, this douchey II though. If I can get an early break on his legs, it might cause him to meander a little bit from his pattern. So the actual trick to hitting these guys when they're doing this is you're basically waiting for, like, you're looking for the up and down here, you're looking for when they land and move and all that kind of thing. Because by the time the rocket hits there, they will have already moved and adjusted themselves. So the idea is you're looking to predict where they'll be, so they can't actually adjust for you shooting there. I don't really know the specifics of how they detect or track or any of that, but as you can see, they will automatically, like, if they see that they are within some relative range of your lockbox, they will immediately move out of the way, like they're friggin' magnetic. It's like right there, the reason that I keep aiming above him is a lot of the times he'll go down and he'll immediately hop back up. Which, funnily enough, I was showing off last part, but there's some maneuvers that the AI can do that you actually can't. Like, for example, the Big Fat Daddy or whatever his name was, if you do, like, they were doing this maneuver where you basically boost forward, stop, and then go up. But if a player does it, they're stopped. They can't move at that point. Whereas the AI does not have a cooldown on their booster, and they can just do it immediately. So there's all kinds of little stuff like that, which honestly you'd figure that that's the kinds of stuff that they would actually let them cheat with, rather than just giving them infinite energy all the time, and, well, basically this annoying flying, hovering pattern. Like, I can dodge this guy all day, broken legs or not, it's just actually hitting him that's the annoying part. And at times you can kind of tell that he's going for a landing and then he just kind of nopes out of it. So that's annoying. Right, we're aiming right now. Yeah, no. And if you're thinking, hey, you know, adjust your aim up a slight bit, like I said, he'll just move. There's no way that that'll actually land. I was already trying that earlier. Doesn't work. Try it every time, never works out. It's a real shame, because these AIs suck to hit. And this is kind of why I didn't want to do the arena part, but at this point it's mostly done, so screw it. I was gonna just end it on Ultimate Zneda, but you know, as far as I can tell, Superfleet hasn't done Damon with rockets, so at least I can do that. That was an annoying one though. It was like that exact day, like I had just done that whole thing, and then the video goes up like, oh, somebody asked me to go do Ultimate Zneda with the rockets. I'm like, dang it, I just spent months working up to this run. Like, I just got into Zneda and everything. Okay, there we go. That looks like a good little fidget spot to hit him on, and the largest do take a pretty large chunk out of him. So when I'm talking about fidget spots, I mean like this, like where I'm basically casually dodging to the side here, and the idea is that you wait for them to finish up some pattern that ends on the end of one of your turns, so you just kind of snipe that crap. Nope, that wasn't it. I was just aiming in the wrong spot. It's fine, he should be just about out of shots, and yeah, he has 24 in each arm, I believe. That's why it was seeming like it was more shots than before. That nice calming Risk of Rain music. I'm absolutely just enamored with Risk of Rain lately. Partially because I found out there was a mod for it, and partially because I remembered I had it on the Vita, and man, it's just so good. I had this really fun run last night that ended up keeping me up later than I probably should have been. In which it was basically an Enforcer run, which the long and short of that game is just, it's basically Binding of Isaac except 2D, like sideways instead of vertically. And there's basically no negative items, so everything's just beneficial to some degree. And so I had this run that just managed to completely gain all the best possible upgrades that character could have gotten. Because their whole thing is just they've got an AoE explosion, they've got a shotgun that shoots through a bunch of things, they got a shield that will block anything from one particular direction, and then they've got a kind of knock-away smack move. So, I was doing that, and first of all wound up getting a thing that basically increases health constantly, so it's this infusion item, where every time you go and beat something, you end up getting 1 extra health. Which doesn't seem like much until you find out that A, they can stack, you can get multiple of them, to the point where every single fight was giving him 4 extra health by the end of it, and you kind of fight thousands of things by the end. So, by the end, like, the character's supposed to have like 900 health, I think I wound up with maybe 6,000. It's kind of ridiculous. I forgot if I remembered to actually save before this or not. So we'll go ahead and redo that. I was tempted to go fight that little guy. Save it right here, just in case I did forget. But yeah, looking at his whole build here, his insides aren't overheating, though to be fair, nothing overheats from rockets in late 3rd gen. Other than that, his defense is kind of okay, but nothing too spectacular. They say that, that his defense is low, which is crap, it's medium. I'm not going to waste the early rocket here. We're going to see if I can go for an early leg break. There we go. That pattern works. Yeah, that's what I need. So he has to stay within a certain range in order to lock on with his missiles. So that's what we're going to do. It doesn't seem like he's willing to do his evasive AI, or at least not as much of it when he's trying to lock on. So that's the moment. Got 8 shots to make it happen. Alright, trying to aim low, it's not quite happening. Right. If you ever want to know how to try and dodge a large when you're completely out of energy, always just wait till the thing's about to hit you. Sometimes the AI freaks out and it just circles around. Alright, and he's back to hovering AI. Wonderful. I'm probably just gonna end up having to restart again, because I didn't get any on his early phase. I think I'm gonna burn through the rest of the larges here and see what happens. This guy's frustrating. Frustrating for all the wrong reasons, too. He's not challenging. It's not a difficult fight. I'm pretty sure no one's really lost a fight to this guy. Just annoying to hit with rockets. What a champ. Yeah, let's go ahead and just try again on that one. Okay, so I can get an early hit on him there, because he seems to stop consistently on the same spot. Okay, that works. I wonder if I can maybe get out of his lock range in time to potentially leave him stuck in this phase of the fight. That matter, it would be hilarious if I could cause him to get hit by his own missiles. Yeah, a little bit more. I think one more on the legs might break him. Oh, come on, pop already. Not what I wanted. Crap. Almost got hit by another one. Didn't drop it yet. Maybe he did. Screw this guy's pattern. Screw this guy with a friggin' stick. It's all subtle, too, is the annoying part. He's literally just slightly dodging up and down. It's like the kind of crap that no person would ever do, and or be able to, because they'd actually have energy to worry about. And they don't have exact perfect knowledge of every one of my inputs. So the moment I press the button, that's the moment they move. So good, so good. Much challenge, very hard mode. Not douchey design whatsoever. Like, who is this for is what I want to know. Like, any other character, or any player really, would have a lock-on. So this would be just a complete non-issue for them. So who exactly is this meant to be a challenge for? Like, unless they deliberately wanted to screw anybody trying to use rockets this badly. This is the nade all over again. Okay, he went for a turn that time. Still possible. I mean, to be fair, 2-4-4-8 took me, let's see, I think it was 6 attempts plus 2 hours of practice on it. So some of these take a minute. Yeah, there we go. There's 2 on his legs. There's another scratch on him. Right, come on, inputs. Throw away the thing I'm trying to tell you to throw away. Perfect. There's another one. Almost. I'm trying a little bit of a different little micro adjustment strategy here, where I'm trying to slightly fidget down my aim when he adjusts his. Specifically trying to aim slightly higher when he's up in the air, and then quickly switching to slightly lower when he's on the ground, which seems to kind of be doing the trick a little bit. But then it's his sudden speed adjustments that are causing an issue now. There we go. Now his legs are still intact. Okay. Not sure if these aim adjustments are very easy to see, but I'm gonna assume they aren't. I'm sure you can kind of hear a relative flurry of button presses as soon as he's somewhere within sight. Maybe this was specifically designed to screw with people using rockets. Because he perfectly blends in with the background too, he like matches the colors exactly. Maybe they just really, really hated rocket players. I have a feeling there's some incident that we don't know about as far as the Japanese multiplayer side of things. Because every Western player I've ever seen had the same opinion of like, these are the worst garbage ever, why would you bother using them? But then it seems like in every consecutive game, they just got worse and worse and worse. Oh, one sec. Alright. Moving on. So, is he gonna potentially let himself get hit? No, right there I thought he might do a dip. But he didn't. Nope. I got one more large. And get that on his kneecap. So yeah, if I break his legs, it wouldn't exactly change anything in terms of how much energy he has, because again, infinite. But what it does change is that he might potentially start acting a little weird. They all start acting weird as soon as their legs break. Some of them end up becoming faster. Some of them just end up completely derping out, so who knows. I have a feeling this is probably going to be the one that ends up taking all the time today. But I did agree to do this, so streaming it shall be. Hello there, Mr. Cow. How's it going? Yeah, this guy with his friggin' uptime, though. Apparently he's probably one of the most douchey hover AIs yet. Completely wrote him off because he's never ever been an issue for any kind of challenge whatsoever. But then again, it never came up that he just hovers forever. And in the most annoying manner possible, too. Alright, come on. Yeah, no. He's just adjusting his speed every time I fire. So those little fidget shots are going to be what it's going to take. So yeah, right now, yes it is. It is actually live for once. But yeah. There we are. Got at least one more on him, but these are hitting him in the torso. I need to hit him in the legs. So yeah, I got the Pelican thing from last time got taken care of, but yeah, Surfire wasn't an issue, Caricature wasn't an issue, and then yeah, it turns out this guy is just basically magnetically opposed to my cursor at all times. So it's just a case where... Wait, is my mic off or something? No. Yes, it is live. Anyway, so now it's just kind of this. Like, he'll be moving forward, and then he'll just stop on a dime because I just fired. It's annoying. Annoying to say the least. I mean, he's not challenging. Every one of these times he's run out of shots already. Yes? Wait, is my mic not working? Is it not working? Should be working. Boy, I sure hope not. Because I've been doing a whole mess of talking to myself if that's the case. God, this guy's AI. It's so douchey. Like, I can literally think of no reason whatsoever why they do this, aside from screwing over anyone that tried to manual fire this. Oh, it was just a still screen a little while ago? Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. Yeah, his legs are still unbusted. But yeah, so this is live. It's... well... basically consisted of this for about the last 20 minutes. Just because this guy... he just hovers. That's all he does. He just moves up and down like an a-hole. You know what? I think I have just enough shots to try the trapping trick. Let's do that again. Okay, northeast corner. Let's run him out of shots. See if he traps himself in there again. Oh no, I sure hope he doesn't go in that horrible doorway. Yes, you've got ammo, I know. Huh. Yeah, I don't know, a lot of folks didn't really get notified about this one for some reason. Wouldn't be able to tell you, I have no idea. But yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of trying to get this guy trapped in his doorway, because there's a bit of a trick you can do, he falls for it. Some of the other AIs will fall for it, but if you just basically hop around facing this northeast doorway, sometimes they'll run in and get confused. Actually, sometimes this works too. Don't know if he's out of shots, but again, I'm pretty confident at this point that he doesn't have anything he can do. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's his legs broken. Alright, how many shots are really in that thing? He's been firing for a good 5 minutes at least. And he's still got shots in it. Alright, come on, really? How do you still have shots? I'm still convinced that the AIs sometimes have extra shots in there. So let's see, it should be 24 in each of them, isn't it? I don't know. Doesn't matter, we'll just do that at full health if that's going to be the case. Come on. Finish off your crap already. But sir, how are people possibly going to find this thing challenging? Well, you see, Jenkins, like 2 decades down the line or something, some idiot is going to try to beat this entire thing with rockets, and that'll be the one time anybody ever remembers this guy. Alright, I think he's out now. Looks like his arms are down. Famous last words. Okay, this is the one we need. Come on. Get yourself caught. Hello there, Mr. Tanaka. Where'd I get the Cerebro mod? You basically just need to contact Mr. Cerebro about it. If you go over to the SRPG Reddit, and just basically go to the Matsuno game section, just you can add him from there, and then he'll respond. Oh boy. Come on, Chuckle Bucket. Get in that doorway. Get in it! We're not doing this. I'm not sitting here watching you jump around like a douchebag all day. And yeah, challenging AIs in Last Raven. You can dodge every one of their shots because everything has no ammo in it for some reason. And then they hop around like a cheating douche. Forever. Oh, hello there, Mr. Cerebro. I wasn't expecting to see you here. Actually, weird. I'm seeing all these dudes here, but for some reason it's telling me there's only one viewer. However that works. Everyone's being all stealthy-like. Yeah, I thought I told you that earlier. Alright, come on. Get in here. You know you want to. Look, it's such a nice hole. Get in the hole. Perfect. Okay, come on, get in the hole again. Good. Get in the hole again. Good. Screw that guy. Oh, told DJ? Yeah. I thought I mentioned to Mr. Tanaka too. Well, I don't friggin' know. Wait, did I put replay? Okay, let's look at just how infinite his friggin' energy is. Look at this crap. Bear in mind this guy is carrying 2 large missile launchers on his back. Them things are like friggin' what? 1,200, 1,400, whatever each? This guy's friggin' backpack weighs as much as my entire AC. Like, it's retarded. Yeah. I mean, at least he's got a tiny lockbox, which I've heard as an argument for, oh, Human Plus and OPI is so balanced because you have a small lockbox. Yeah, no. He can fly forever, thank you very much. Not balanced whatsoever. Anyway, we are not standing here for another 45 minutes as that pans out, so let's go on to the next fight. Oh, sweet, really? Okay. Normalized stats always do work. I'm gonna think that I don't know why why there's so many proponents for having all kinds of extra background stat growths. Because that's, I know I compare about those endlessly, but that's the same thing that I ended up loving about One Vision. Because it was one of these cases where it was just like, you would have somebody train as one thing and then they'd never be able to be anything else, despite the fact that the entire game is based around that idea. Alright, let's see how challenging BJ is. It'd be nice to actually have an opponent that fights rather than hovers like an absolute shuffle. Whatever. Proceed to rein in saltiness. Okay, well, I mean, he does actually fight. He does the little ground thingy instead. This is doable, I'm just getting used to him still. It's kind of something that happens with most of the AIs, frankly. The last few kind of ate it with no real trouble whatsoever. But it's fine, you know. Some of the more challenging ones will take a couple tries. Generally speaking, I would say par is like maybe 3 tries for each. But then it's, in reality, it's either it happens on the first try or it happens like 50 tries later. Or either it happens first try to third try, and or 50 tries. That's been the normal way of things so far. Which one am I firing? My right side? Yep. That's fine. I think I might have him. Yeah, I've got his pattern. Gotta internalize that pattern. Like, you know that thing from Silent Line, the boss in that one? Where they're like, oh, we're just like analyzing pattern and all that sort of thing, and then they suddenly adjust, and they're way harder. Except you never notice because, well, let's face it, the player's so OP in that game, it's ridiculous. But assuming you went back for a challenge run, and then you actually did the fight having to properly fight him, then yeah, you probably noticed that phase, and it's so much different. They fight so differently. Although, if you're in a starter, they seem to realize that you have absolutely no speed, and then they just proceed to be ridiculously fast. And it's really, really mean, actually. Hang on. Let's see. Oh, talking about that. Okay, aggro 6, 3 levers. Oh, you know what? That actually makes sense. I never really thought about it. Wait, was it her or was it Dragon Lady that had the super ridiculous magic stats you said? I think it was Dragon Lady. And yes, I always forget her name. She's just Dragon Chick. Whatever, we'll just call her Targaryen. But yeah, that does explain why Agris kind of falls off in usefulness. But yeah, Tactics Ogre had that in both of its versions as well, which made sense in a couple of them. Like in the original SNES game and in the GBA game, it was perfectly fine. You know why? Because everyone only went up to 50. They couldn't reclass and then level up entirely different as different classes. So when they redid that for the PSP remake, they're like, yeah, you can basically level up somebody forever and completely max out their stats by having them level up as multiple classes. And then they had to rebalance the entire game based around that idea. So it was either let the entire game be absolutely jacked in terms of balance, because the player can be super overpowered, or, you know, adjust the meta for making the endgame nigh impossible. And then, apparently, presumably, that taco girl walked in, they're like, why not both? So you had ninjas and archers that were retardedly overpowered. All your characters could get stupidly powerful, and then on top of that, the endgame was nigh impossible if you weren't using the meta. So, like, the main story was a complete write-off, and then all of the bonus content was absurd. And I think a lot of people don't remember that about that game. Because I hear a lot of rose-tinted goggles about it. Like, no, it was so great. You know, you didn't run into all of these different issues in the original. Like, you ran into worse issues in the original. It's like, there's so many issues with the original, it's not even funny. Like, one thing I saw complained about was the availability of some of the skills. Like, oh, you have all these shutdown skills and everything, and it's not fair. And then I'm thinking that person, well, actually a couple people are mentioning that one in that discussion, had never gone through Palace of the Dead in that one, because they apparently don't remember the mass petrification and bewitch thing. So in TO, yeah, the original SNES version was broken, but it at least wasn't as obvious, and you couldn't accidentally do it as much as you could in the PSP remake. But like, okay, if you take almost finished him. Like, what was I trying to say there? Oh yeah, so the complaint was about virtuous dance in One Vision. So like, okay, it's 40%, or no, it's 60% Bewitch and Charm. Okay, Bewitch lasts about 1 to 2 turns, and Charm, generally speaking, by the way, it's 60% for it tries to do a Bewitch, and then if that fails, it tries to do a Charm, and then if that fails, it just misses completely. So it's 2 separate rolls of 60%. Charm falls off from any damage whatsoever, even poison, which that tends to fly around like crazy at that point. There you go, first try on BJ. This one I remember being scary. But then you've got you've got Bewitch, which is much harder to get rid of. Well, originally was much harder to get rid of. Now it's actually just about the same abilities to get rid of it. But point being, physical damage doesn't knock them out of it. So you get a situation where they're going to be dropping loyalty every turn, a mechanic that never matters. Oh crap, yes, he does hover forever. Right, but if I remember correctly, he hovers at a consistent altitude. Like a... What the hell, man? What is this? What are you? Weird spider jank. Anyway, so... Yeah, he does go on the ground, so we can aim on the ground, can aim for his legs. Fair enough. I'm just gonna wait for him to land, then. So yeah, point being, in One Vision, you're basically looking at a thing that can be removed pretty easily. The original version, that folks don't seem to remember, is that, yeah, you had Bewitch on there. That item that One Vision uses to heal it was not the same item to heal it in that one. Because previously you had to go and you had to craft that specific item. So many people went to Palace of the Dead never actually seeing that there was a separate item to get rid of Bewitch. So they get there and they're like, okay, why can this thing not go away? Why is Ease the only ability that actually gets rid of this stupid thing? And Ease is an ability that their casters basically can't really use that often because it's pretty friggin' expensive, and it also takes a while to cast. So yeah, it's a weird time. So first off, Bewitch. So they can't get rid of that. Plus, it lasts like 6 turns, give or take. So they're going to be a traitor for a while, like to the point where you're basically better off just completely knocking them out and then reviving them. It's easier than actually trying to get them back on their feet. But then, on top of that, you had Petrification that came along with it. So if that wasn't enough, they were stuck as a statue for several turns, then they came back and turned on you. And this is a move that they could do in a large area. It scaled off of their stats, which meant that they had about an 80% chance of actually inflicting that on multiple units at once, meaning that of your party of presumably up to 12, you would potentially lose up to 5 or 6 units in a single move, and then a second guy would come in and do the same thing, and then you're just screwed. Unless you specifically went out of your way to either go buy the absurdly expensive skill to make it a non-issue, which is 10,000, which is just an amount of points nobody has laying around, or... Oh man. Crap, that was about to be the final shot too. I was aiming a little bit lower. I'm just trying to roughly aim for him here so I can hit him while he's doing his jump too. Anyway. What was I gonna... Oh yeah. So yeah, you basically could potentially lose your entire team in 1 turn without any sort of counter to it. At least no effective counter. You had Ease, which could recover 1 unit but would take a while to use. So if you came in with multiple clerics, which had basically dropped off in usefulness by that point of the game, you had very few recovery options, and realistically your best bet was, like I said earlier, just to go with the meta, which is to always just use archers for everything. Which are ridiculously overpowered because they're all super fast, and they hit really hard, and they've got a guaranteed hit move, and it has a guaranteed crit on it, and they have range about... Well, hell, if you get them the best bow, they've got, like, the longest friggin' range in the entire game, so there's very little reason to use anything else. And then you had ninjas, who were just stupidly powerful at close range. Like, they had a move that basically made them as tough as knights for a single round. And so nothing ever targeted them if you used that ability. And even then, if something did target them, they actually had way better defense than they probably should have. But yeah, I kind of got wrecked on that last one, unfortunately. Though to be fair, against this guy, I was expecting to do a lot worse. Because this is one of those ones that always tends to give me an issue on challenge runs, and yeah. The fact that he's going down rockets pretty well is pretty alright for me. Main reason I'm aiming higher and not aiming for his legs, by the way, is just because if he ends up going a little bit farther out, then I want to still be able to hit him. Like, I am slightly adjusting, I don't know if you can tell. I'm slightly adjusting up and down so that he doesn't move. I'm pretty sure that was his legs that just got busted too. Alright. Yep. And one more shot. Goodbye. Use only archers. Well, yeah. To say they were overpowered was... Let's just say the best example of that, and Mr. Cow, I forget if I actually sent it to you. There was a guy that did a 100% run of the vanilla version of Tactics Ogre. In it, he basically had a speed leveling strategy that he was using. It involved taking 11 rookies of any class, because you basically leveled up the class instead of the unit, which is what allowed you to go and just put somebody into multiple classes and, well, infinitely raise them up, pretty much. But yeah, so he took all of his A-team, was putting them into different classes, and yeah, then was doing this thing where he would just go to one particular map, go to one particular boss fight, fire a single arrow, one-shot the boss, and then would proceed to do so, putting them through all of the different classes, swapping out who's using that really powerful bow every time. Because that thing could fire across the entire map from the very first round and just insta-kill the boss, because even scaled up all the way with endgame gear and whatever else, they hit so hard that armor stopped mattering. Like, any other gear or whatever else stopped mattering. Actually, scales, and or rather stats, ended up scaling so high that that most armors were just completely worthless. They're just dead weight by that point. There's a reason that I'm always so harsh on the original version. I love it to death, but I don't know what they were thinking. It was just, why would you copy MMO mechanics for a strategy game? Makes no sense. And that isn't an inferred thing, by the way. They did directly copy it. I found that out later from one of the community members, that they showed me a bit of info on it, and yeah, no, they did directly copy a lot of things. From specifically FF11 for some reason. I was like, Ultima Shot? Kind of, except they can do it every turn with no issues. And then if for some reason something's able to dodge their perfect accuracy and, well, really good stats, they've got a skill that well, they've got two of them. One of them lets them fire twice. Another one lets them fire a guaranteed hit, guaranteed crit. Meaning that at that point, the only thing that can actually prevent them from landing a shot is if somebody has deflect, at which point I believe they're still able to carry, bring in overpower, which is a skill that... Okay, to explain how that works, they have a kind of save system in that one, wherein if something's going to hit, like let's say there's an arrow flying and it's 100% hit chance. Deflect is basically a second roll, where depending on its rank, it can give like maybe 5 to... I think 40 is the maximum effect of it. I'm not 100% certain on that one. Chance to just completely nullify it anyway. So that's just kind of its own thing. Right. And hitting this guy is not as bad as some of the others. Yeah, as soon as he drops his rifle, he's going to do the same thing. At least the hand rockets should be enough to finish him off, though I don't know if I've landed enough shots to make this happen. He's got a blade, though. He will go for blade AI. So... if I just sit here and keep staring at him, I don't think he's going to try to get close. Alright, come on. I'm around the corner. What are we doing here? I'm just stuck on the other end of the wall or something? Okay, this might be an idea. Just abuse this wall, I think. What are you doing? Okay. Didn't work out there, but I know what to do. What I was trying to do is actually blow off his arm. Unfortunately, I was aiming slightly too high. Leap out of the ground? I don't know. He might have done. Wouldn't be the weirdest glitch I've seen in this version. It's funny because in some of the maps, you can't have opponents that just fall straight through the map. Let's go ahead and just run him out of shots, I think, and then try that strategy again. So what I'm going to want to do is use the right side heavies here, mix them with stun from the left arm, and just basically aim just for his blade arm. Try to blow it off. Why are you... Interestingly, those are all hitting him in the head. Well, whatever, it worked out anyway. Somehow, he got blown up so hard he went onto the other side of the wall. But whatever. Win's a win. I don't know how to do it, so somebody should make a clip of that. Hello there, Mr. Lefty Sawa. Susandu. Or Susanu? Susanu? Whatever. Let's see. Shell defense. ECMs, yeah, that's gonna matter. Rifles and linear. Or actually, no, that's a railgun. Alright. That's an interesting build, at least. I think at this rate we might actually be able to make it all the way to Damon. Maybe even attempt it. Ooh, you know what? Well, I got a free hit on him anyway. Okay, so we've got just for terrain, though he seems pretty predictable in terms of his movement. What on earth are you doing this high in the arena? How on earth did this build make it, really? So first off, he's a hover. There should never be a hover in any high end of the arena in Last Raven. Second off, I mean, he's a burst rifle build. Third off, I mean, he's not really doing anything special, which I guess for once I'm not complaining about. He's just meant to be one of the let's have a little bit of a break type of builds, I guess. He's trying to use his railgun. I think that might have been his legs breaking. Might help if I had the sound on. For that matter, where the hell's my music? Put my music back. Video paused. How about that? Hang on. I think I know what I want to have playing for this. It's a shame can't play AC2, large rockets with the ammo 8 speed would be... Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome. I really liked rockets in 2nd gen. But unfortunately, it just isn't meant to be. I'm just turning on some music real quick. It will just be a moment. There it is. Extended 10-hour Ice Cap Zone remix. Let's do this thing. Oh wait, there was his legs breaking. Hey buddy. You can't move so good, huh? Then again, maybe he was the only one aside from Damon to actually think of using ECMs. Yeah, I don't know why they gave these such a slow fire rate. And you basically have 2 quick shots and then you're stuck reloading. It's a kind of a bummer. Especially considering how amazing they were in early 3rd gen. That was probably the only time that they were actually almost oppressive in how much they could do. And if anybody wants an experience of that, just go fight Fanfare. That whole go to the ruins and fight Fanfare and Huntress thing. The only reason that's hard is because of his rockets. Everything else pretty much bounces off the walls. It's like the second that he ends up getting a beat on you with those things. 24 shots instead of 18, faster firing than Sawa. Like 900 range? Interesting. I didn't know they had that much range. I do know that they didn't suck. It's like Last Raven's the worst that they've ever been, and we got the broken arms now. Alright. Hello, Neon Might. Finally coming back from my X-Div run, I see. It's funny, I've remade the Neon Knight, or Neon Might as my kind of like main tank of choice in that run so many times, and literally every time it gets blown up. I think it's survived one operation. Right, come on, land. He's supposed to be a weird tanky embodiment of the Moonlight and doesn't even use one, I'm pretty sure. He's, I think it's Fenrir, a sniper rifle, and the LX cannon. So just basically all the broken insta-kill guns, aside from the sniper rifle. Well, basic sniper rifle, I should say. Thankfully he doesn't have that many shots, but still, holy crap. Fenrir is just terrifying. Actually, I was saying a little while ago that it would have been pretty nice for the little ammo extender packs that worked for rifles to actually work for sniper rifles. And for some reason, people got really on my case about that. So they're like, what about the Fenrir? It'll be so broken. It's like, but that's not a shell rifle now, is it? Like, but if you include that definition, then you have to include that, and why would you? Just Fenrir, how are you going to reload that? Are you going to keep a spare battery in your shoulder? I mean, the extra bullets, you know, they might be funneling it through the arm or something. Or maybe they just pull it back and pull another magazine out of there. How are you going to recharge your gun? Oh well. Then again, I suppose laser rifles do it, so whatever. Okay, hopefully he's out of Fenrir shots. That thing's mostly dangerous because of its crazy fast speed. You can't really dodge it, because it's one of the only true lasers, which is basically instant damage. I might have blown his head off. I was firing for where his head should be. And it was not there. Oh no! It's perfect for Halloween. Sell his Moonlight cannon form? True. Like, we stuck the Moonlight on a gun. And fired it. And it was a much better idea, actually. But why can't you make it infinite anymore? Don't ask these questions, Bob. Don't ask these questions. Neon Knight Riders. I don't actually... To be fair, I don't think I watched too much TMNT as a kid. Watched a lot of things, but not that. It's because usually on Saturdays I got roped into doing other stuff. Like, oh no, you gotta spend several hours practicing so you can go bring in some money that you'll never see playing violin. Okay. Also, I believe he blew my head off, or at least damaged it. Tight little dodges here. Got myself lasered. Fantastic. This guy's turn speed is nuts, by the way. Why your turn speed so bonkers? Funnily enough, he's actually overweight, which makes it even weirder that his turn speed is so amazing. Actually, maybe it's one of those things where it's just a weird bug that they left in the game like they did with GTA 4. There was a bug in that one where, with some of the really fast cars, if you blew off all the tires, they inexplicably would go faster. You just had no control. Oh, that's a SNES game? Okay. For some reason I thought it was part of the show, but yeah, no, I don't, I remember playing it, I don't remember that much about it. Because we only had a SNES for a little bit. I forget what exactly happened to it. I think it was sold. I think my mom sold it. Because we had a NES, and then I know that broke, and then my brother tried to fix it. And I think he succeeded for a little bit, and then gave it to me as a gift, and then I think she sold that. Then later on got a SNES, and I believe she sold that too. There was a lot of, I'm gonna give you a thing, and gonna go ahead and just take it away because I need to go pawn something because of my drinking problem kind of crap. Yeah. Let's just say they were a piece of work. Alright. This is very doable. I just need to stop taking so many LX hits. In fact, the best bet would just be to aim for his arm and probably approach from the side. Okay, there we go. Let me adjust my headset a little bit so it stops trying to go forward. It's probably not helping matters. It's like I found a headset that's pretty decent quality. Got it for really, really cheap. Problem is, it doesn't sit very comfortably. It's like every now and then it's just like, I'm gonna start creeping forward. There we go, that's 1. 2. Okay, yeah, that thing is heating me up like crazy. 3. I'm trying to get to the center of my Tootsie Roll Pop. Funnily enough, Neon Might is pretty much the only effective tank in this game. At least as far as AIs are concerned. And weirdly enough, they don't decide to give tanks all those hovering mechanics. It'd actually be really scary with like a whole hover type situation. But no, you're like, we gotta make all the bipeds do the cool guy thing. Okay, I think that's 4 or 5. I don't know. I don't have enough legs to think about it. But yeah, as far as best beat 'em up games, I don't know. It's gotta compete with Golden Axe, man. MS was pretty amazing. Like, that was my thing as a kid. Friggin' Golden Axe and Battletoads. Trying to outmaneuver his LX here. Out of his Fenrir, so... Let's see, presumably 6 or 7 shots there. 8. As soon as that glow disappears, this fight can be won. 9. Come on, ditch that crap, man. 10. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you thrown away your big expensive gun? Aw, dang it. Hang on. I need to be right back. Hello, I'm back. Hello there, Mr. Gakp. And thankfully, fewer hopping AIs than usual. Surprisingly, the big problem with this one was actually Barry Manx. You know, the guy that basically no one never gave anyone an issue before. So it turns out he just hops around like an absolute douchebag, like every other AI that runs out of shots. So right now, what I'm trying to do is essentially just nail some shots on this guy. Because, yeah, he's out of shots. That's been the running theme, though. It's like they run out of shots and they're like, look at me, I can run, but only, you know, you actually have to beat me, I don't have to beat you, kind of thing. It's like they're grandfathered in and they know it. What is this? Actually, it's pretty fitting with the music. Alright, come on, Neon Might. I like your bizarre overweight build, but, I mean, you lost this fight, come on. Accept defeat and we can move on here. Are we done? You don't need that arm anyway, right? Goodbye. Oh, dang it. I gotta be right back again. Thought I got that sorted out. Hello again. Alright, gonna try to be a little on the quiet end here, but yeah, Mr. Cerebro, that is exactly pretty much what happened there. Been a bit of a new phenomenon today, where we're basically trying to randomly roll over while sleeping, and oh boy. Oh boy, does that lead to some intensity there. Yeah, I think we're finally all calm here. Mr. Cow, I'm not even... Is that like a guy photocopying cookies? That's pretty awesome if that's what that is. Alright. This guy's got his ground phase. Perfect. Got his hovering phase 2. That's less perfect. But there's definitely plenty of openings to hit him. Funnily enough, the little wiggle trick seems to still work for those missiles. But yeah, if you don't know what the little trick is, or wiggle trick is, basically if you wiggle your left stick forward and back for a lot of the swarm missiles, it'll just kind of end up firing all over the place. Because it thinks you're going to move forward and then you don't. It just like never really bothers to adjust on time, I guess. Oh, that's going to be a bit annoying, though. I have to aim for his torso, because I can't aim for legs, because the water eats the missile, or eats the rockets. Oh dear god, this dog! Okay. So... Alright, let's do this thing. If there's suddenly extreme loudness, I'm gonna go ahead and probably mute it for the rest of this fight, and then, like, if this isn't a quick fight, then it might end up having to be it for today. Cause yeah, the dog basically decided to go bark at somebody, and well, the kiddo that had just gotten back to sleep got woken up, and then let's just say he was upset. We're gonna go with. Anyways, sorry about that. But I think everybody's all good and happy at the moment. Hopefully. Yeah, babies do not appreciate being woken up, especially by loud noises. I don't think anybody does, but them especially. Alright. This is seeming simple enough. You're never happy? Well, you know, that's kind of life, though. You have those little moments of happiness, and then stuff gets all grim, and then you gotta deal with all the grim crap, and then some a-hole comes along who was doing really well and thought that you needed to do worse. Then you run into those people too, and that just makes stuff even less so, but eventually stuff kind of sort of works out some semblance of almost alright, I think. At least something interesting usually happens. And I guess the main tragedy of the whole thing is just, as a species, we could have accomplished so many more things if people weren't douches. But unfortunately, we're probably gonna end up just screwing ourselves in the long run. Such is life. Well. Hopefully at least the stream can start working. I don't know why it's having technical issues. I know sometimes it gets janky around the 2-hour mark, so I guess it would be pretty close to an ending point anyway. At least I've heard it gets janky around the 2-hour mark. Won't be able to say for sure. I don't think I have enough shots to quite win it at the moment. But as soon as he's out of shots, then I will be able to maybe pull off some cheese. There we go. Let's see if we can go hang out on this bridge a little bit. I think he's almost out of his dragon there. I think he's using a dragon, right? It's typically what makes that kind of projectile. Might be using a griffin, actually. That's a double laser. Yeah, it looks like what that is. Think you fixed it? Well, hopefully so. Wait, I didn't mean to do the replay. Used to that saying, would you like to retry, like a reasonable game? Okay. What is he using? Is that just the spirit? He doesn't even have a pocket rifle? Why not? Go save that just in case. But yeah. Might not be able to read chat in a second because my phone is almost dead. We'll see, we'll see. It's fine, I guess it's all kind of lining up towards an ending point anyway. And yeah, there we go. That sounds like it's about an end point anyway. So anyway, thank you guys for showing up. Gotta get going, and have a good one. Take care.